Hi and welcome back to On The Ball. I'm off to Thatcham today. So I'm going down the M40 today to go and watch Thatcham and Bromsgrove play in the 5th round of the FA Vase. Gotta go and pick my folks up first. It's pretty cold out here, it's pretty wet. Let's hope for a good game, eh? So the Bromsgrove players are leaving about 10:30 from the ground, and the fans are leaving at 10:15. There's 3 coaches going down, so we're going to have a great support, great backing for Bromsgrove Sporting today, and very excited for this game. Just thinking back to Sun Sports last year, it was just one of the best days out for as a fan.
Everywhere we go!
So, just arrived from Thatcham. I've been over to the Swan, met some fans over there. Everyone seems to be in high spirits, having a bit of a drink. I've parked over at the ground, so I'm about to walk back over there, go and meet some of the staff over there and go and get set up. So I'm trying to watch my step as I'm walking over here. So I'll see you guys in there. Apparently that Thatcham have won 16 of the last games, so on the bounce, all of them, and quite convincingly for some of them as well. So it's going to be an interesting test for the boys in green today. So I've just been walking back from the Swan, and we're very close to the ground now, but unfortunately we're also right next to this canal, and there's another canal just there, and the ground is just there. So it's been raining all night. What are we going to expect? Pretty boggy pitch, I'd imagine. Hopefully it's a bit better than what we saw at AFC Wolverine, where it was a bit boggy underfoot. I guess time will tell.
Okay, thank you very much.
Green Army!
burnt crust.
Get that down.
No.
Yeah.
Come on, you Roselers!
So it's 3 o'clock here. I've set up, but we've been delayed by 15 minutes because there's fans still pouring into the ground, which is great. I've had a look around the facilities and it's a really nice place. They've got a really nice clubhouse, got a couple of function rooms, but I'll go into detail in that in a bit and I'll show you the footage of that as well, if you haven't already seen. It's half time here at Waterside Park and it's Thatcham 2, Bromsgrove 1. Thatcham went 2-0 up again with, I think his name's Elliot, the number 7, who plays in the right wing, is playing very well. Bromsgrove made a pretty early sub, I think at about the half an hour mark. Sam Wills came off for John Pikett and John instantly made an impact, running at the defence and past the keeper who brought him down and gave away a penalty. And then Richard Gregory scored that, he just dispatched it straight into the middle of the goal. So there's a bit of a delay at the beginning of the game. There was 15 minutes added to the clock, so they started at 3:15. There were so many fans outside still waiting to get in, queuing to get in, but they had to delay it. And then when all the fans did get in, there was a bit of a fracas, a bit of a punch up, by the looks of it, in the shed end of their ground, and it was just unnecessary. But these things happen in football, I suppose. People get heated. But that's it so far. The actual facilities and whatnot I'll have to go into after the game because it's been a bit of a rush at the moment, but I'm going to go back in, get myself settled up in the ground, and I'll speak to you after the game. So I'm back after a long day down in Thatcham. A bit disappointed, as I'm sure all of the fans are, with the result, but I think it was probably it was a fair result. Thatcham played very well, played some very good passing football, and when they went 2-0 up, it was the team who were playing football that took the lead, so you can't knock them for that. We played into their strengths quite a lot as well by just pumping the ball into the central defenders, and they just kept heading it away or clearing up very easily. It was a tough game, but when we got back to 2-1, I think we had every confidence that the team would do well and we'd get back into it, but it just never came. Max had a good chance early on in the second half, which he just put wide, and then we did have a couple of other chances, but I think it could have been a lot worse for us if we didn't have Reese in goal. So it was interesting to see that there was a blue flare that went off after they scored their first goal in the Thatcham end, and it was good to see that Bromsgrove didn't retaliate and they didn't bring any flares in or anything like that. So I think the message was driven home about pyrotechnics and whatnot, and the fans were on fantastic form today. You could hear them all the way through. Really good to be a Bromsgrove fan, even though the result didn't go for us, but these things happen, you can't win them all, and I think we've learned that today. But saying that, we're back into the league again the following Saturday. We've got a good game over at rugby and one at live following that, I believe. But as far as the facility, it was a very nice facility for the level that we're playing at. They had a bit of a stadium on the one side with maybe a few hundred seats, just where the players came out in the tunnel, and then they had a shed at one end, and then the rest of it was pretty open. It looked like they was doing some building work on the one side or some groundwork. The stadium and ground and all of the facilities at Thatcham, they had a really nice place. There was 2 function rooms, 1 bar area and 1 function room, and they hold weddings, wakes, parties, birthday parties. And I was speaking to a young lady who worked there, and she said that they're pretty packed in there over the summer period. It's pretty much booked out for weddings, non-stop in there. They had a good selection on the tap as well. I think they had about 5 or 6 different beers you could buy, and yeah, it was pretty well staffed. I had a brief look in the programme that Dave Stevens lent to me, and although I didn't get to keep one, I had a quick look through. It was quite text heavy. It seemed like your basic non-league programme. It wasn't flashy, it was just a lot of history about the 2 clubs and a welcome message to the clubs as well. The pitch looked a bit boggy as expected because it was raining all night, and it continued to rain throughout the game. Their pitch lies close to 2 canals as well, so I'd imagine that the drainage there isn't particularly great. It's always difficult to lose a game, and it showed on the players' faces at the final whistle. You can see they were all devastated. I think we do have to take 2 performances out there, maybe a couple more, but Reese Francis really did keep us in the game. He pulled off some cracking saves. John Pikett made an instant impact when he came on in the first half for Sam Wills by darting down the right hand side and getting a penalty, and then Josh Quainer had a very strong game at left back. I think the better side did win the game. They played a lot of smooth passing football, didn't really pump it forward too much, and I think that's where we fell short. And we just kept pumping it forward to Jason and Richard, and I'm sure their centre-backs loved that because those quite big guys, they dominated in the air and it just made it look easy for them. So I don't think we need to be too disheartened by the result. Obviously it's going to be a bit sore for the time being, but we are still very much in the league. We've got some big games coming up. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode of On The Ball. It's not been my favourite one to do, but it's one that I had to do nonetheless. So if you did like this video and you want to see more, obviously press the like button below and press the subscribe button, and you'll be informed of when another video comes out. But as far as this one's concerned, thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next game.